Welcome back, folks. Now I have Erin from Red Buffalo Coffee and Tea joining me. Now, if you have not stepped into Red Buffalo Coffee and Tea, you have not experienced a true coffee shop in Summit County. Erin, how are you doing this morning?
Well, thank you. How are you?
I am doing good. It's nice that the temperatures are going to warm up a little bit today.
A little. They were deceivingly warm this weekend. Deceivingly cold?
Deceivingly cold.
Yeah, sunny but windy and cold.
Yeah, like I went to A-Basin and the temperature in my car said it was 20 degrees out, and then I got on the slopes and I was like, no,
that's not 20.
That's not 20. That's not what 20
I'll ask my Google at home. I'm like, hey, Google, what's the weather today? And they say, the weather today is, with a high of this. It's currently 4 degrees, but with the wind, it feels like negative 10. Gotcha.
So I think a good way to maybe get a more accurate weather reading is popping in at Red Buffalo Coffee and Tea, where everyone's going to be talking about it.
Exactly. Well, it's really funny because especially in the morning, all the customers will be like, oh, it's so cold. And the first 10 customers will tell me exactly what their car reading says without even being prompted.
Yeah.
And I'll generally get a sense throughout the morning that, oh, we're now above negative temperatures. Oh, now we're into double-digit temperatures. And it's fun. I feel like when you go into a local coffee shop, you just get a sense of the community. There's conversation about, what's the weather today? Or what's going on. If you want to go to an FDRD thing, who's going to it? And just all sorts of fun community things is what you get at
because there's
shop.
so much more than caffeine that you need to start your day.
There
right?
is. Now, granted, you should start with caffeine and then get your information.
That's right. You don't want to be the grump that's like just giving out grumpy information. Don't be that person.
No, and actually NPR did a funny story today about how people have those knee-jerk reactions based on anger, based on like a tweet that they read, and how to change that into something positive.
They can go to Red Buffalo Coffee.
You go into Red Buffalo Coffee and Tea. We start you with like coffee that is always positive.
Yes, especially when it's really good quality coffee and tea. Because again, that's not one of the reasons why it's my favorite coffee shop is because it's just good. You guys do such a good job.
I was talking with one of our business groups that we host once a month, and just some of those things you might not notice right away as the consumer, but we put so much care and effort into, and we were just talking about some of those scientific details that you really don't want to know when you're pre-caffeinated. But just you can taste the difference, and that's what it is. When people come in like, wow, this tastes really good. What's the difference between it? Or especially when people come in and they say, oh, this can't be decaf. And I'm like, well, why not? And they're like, it's too good. I'm like, it's still decaf. You can make decaf taste really good still.
I know. I drink decaf, so I always
I fooled myself with a shot of decaf last night at 8 p.m. I was watching the Oscars, and I was like, I need this placebo of I feel like I'm having a cup of coffee.
Now, I remember listening to, hearing about the different types of roasts and different beans that you guys have. Like, I know you really nerd out on the sort of the coffee brewing and roasting aspect, but I had no idea there was so many different kinds. And I was just asking you as far as like, can people, like, if someone wants to geek out and become a coffee connoisseur, I mean, can they come and try different brews when they order from you? Like, how does that work?
So we have 12 different roasts that we work with our roaster, who's down in Boulder, the Silver Canyon Roasters. We work really closely with them on what's going to taste well at our altitude, because our water is colder than at, say, in Denver or even at sea level. It's significantly colder. Since coffee's 98% water, you really need to know how it's playing with those water. And so you have your ratios and anyway, so we brew 4 brews every single day, 4 different ones. And then we also have the other 8 that aren't brewed that day, available as a pour over or a French press. And then we'll always have kind of another one thrown in on our auxiliary espresso, because anything can be made espresso. There's no espresso roast, there's no espresso flavor. Espresso is a drink, it's a type of beverage. So I can put in a Costa Rica and make espresso with it. I could put in a Sumatra and make espresso with it. And you're gonna get different flavor profiles out of that, and they'll hold up better with milk or flavored lattes.
So what does that mean when I I'm in the grocery store shop and I'm buying coffee and it'll say like, this is the espresso roast or espresso?
It's usually, it's kind of, think tea, right? And you're thinking Earl Grey has a very distinctive taste. That's because it's always the same amount of teas. It's usually one from Darjeeling and one from Assam and maybe some Ceylon in there, blended together to make a taste profile that you know. And then it's got bergamot, that's what makes Earl Grey. Same with the difference between English breakfast and Irish breakfast tea. It's a blend of certain teas made to taste a certain way. So a lot of times there's French roast, Italian roast, Vienna roast. It's a flavor profile, but the beans can be sourced from a lot of different places. Our Vienna roast that we carry is a Peruvian blend, so it's made from like a Catuai and a Caturra varietal of coffee. And then you play with your roasting temperature and your types of varietals to get a flavor profile. Now, any coffee, when people come in and say, I love Costa Rican coffee, well, you can deal with different varietals of Costa Rican. I can roast it darker, I can roast it lighter, I can, with a variance of 10 to 15 degrees in temperature, you're going to get a completely different flavor profile. Yeah. And then how much coffee to water I'm going to use as well is going to yield a different flavor profile. So when you go into the store and you see espresso roast, it's really a darker blend, a flavor profile that you're aiming for. But espresso as itself, you can use any coffee in your espresso machine. It's just how you grind it, what sort of flavors you want to get out of it. But espresso is just a beverage. It's how you, what you want to get out of that coffee that you've roasted and you've sourced and all those different nuances that go into it before you even drink it.
Now, do you have a special blend that you've made for your espresso drinks?
We do. It's our Buffalo Blend Espresso, and it's a half Sumatra. It's a Primado Guava Sumatra, and
tongue twister.
Yes, it is, and a Copla Primaris Costa Rican. So what that does, you get this nice heavy malty oils from the Sumatra, and then a much lighter lemony tart finish from that Costa Rican. And so a lot of places, especially in the United States, have a very dark espresso profile. We like to just lighten it up a little bit, but you still need something with body to hold up with milk and a latte if you're going to be making a latte or a cappuccino drink with it. But if you come in right now, I do have on our auxiliary espresso grinder this amazing limited release Sulawesi coffee that we've been playing with our roaster. It's really good. It's got like some nice nutty maltiness to it. And we do have it in limited release bags that we're going to be only carrying through for the rest of the next 2 weeks. So if you want to come and get that Sulawesi, you can come and try it on espresso. We can make you a cappuccino with it or an Americano. And again, we do have it in limited release bulk bags too. So if you do want to come and buy some for home, I mean, we're going to be doing that a little bit with working with different roasters and working with our roaster on some limited release purchases. You can come in and taste your way around the world, if you will.
Have an espresso tasting.
You can, yes.
Awesome. Well, Erin, thank you so much for coming in. We did not actually mention your location and hours and how to find out what's going on.
Yes.
I know, right? We were talking about the coffee.
The coffee's the best part, but you need to know where to get it. And that's coming into our shop. We're 358 Blue River Parkway in Silverthorne. So that's just a quarter mile north of the I-70 Silverthorne Interstate exit in Silverthorne. We're open to 6:30 to 5, 7 days a week. Plenty of outlets too if you're coming and getting some internet work done or you need to sit down and charge up for a little while, literally and figuratively. And you can always go to our website, redbuffalocafe.com, for links to our Facebook page, our Instagram, our online store, or if you have any events that you're interested in coming to.
Okay, well, Erin, thank you so much for popping in again.
Absolutely.
You have a great day.
Thank you.
Okay, folks, we're going to take a break, but coming up shortly, we will have our Watch and Win. And again, part of our Watch and Win prize is a $25 gift certificate to Red Buffalo Coffee and Tea. And we also are giving away a pair of the Outdoor Research men's medium Versaliner gloves. So stay tuned for your chance to win.